Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into Alex Hormozi's incredible blueprint for building a business that can scale to $100 million. We're going to break down how to craft offers that are so good, people would feel silly saying no, and then how to find the right customers who are practically waiting to buy from you.
Okay, so let's just jump right in with the big question, right? The one that probably keeps you up at night. Why do so many businesses get stuck? You've got a great product, you're working your tail off, but you're just not growing. What is really going on?
Well, it almost always boils down to this vicious cycle, what Hormozi calls the entrepreneur's dilemma. You don't have enough cash flow because you don't have enough clients, and you can't get more clients because, well, you don't have the cash to go out and find them. It's this frustrating loop that traps so many businesses.
But here's the good news. There's a system to break out of it. And here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about crafting that absolutely irresistible offer. Then, we'll decode the formula behind what makes it so valuable. After that, we'll get into the Core 4 system for getting leads. And finally, we'll put the whole thing together into your personal growth blueprint.
All right, first things first, we have to start with the foundation of everything, and that is your offer. See, Hormozi makes this incredible point that how you sell what you sell is often way more important than what you're actually selling.
And that leads us to his cornerstone idea, the Grand Slam offer. The whole point here isn't to be a little bit better than your competition. No. The goal is to create something so unique, so different, that it can't even be compared to anything else out there. You're basically creating a category of one.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? This isn't about hype or tricky sales tactics. It's about stacking so much real, tangible value into what you're offering that the decision to buy becomes an absolute no-brainer for the right person.
Now this slide, this really drives the whole point home. Just look at the order of importance here. The single biggest factor for success, by a long shot, is finding a starving crowd, a market that is desperate for a solution to their problem. A fantastic offer given to people who aren't hungry is going to fail every single time. Your market choice is everything.
So how do we actually go about building an offer that this starving crowd can't possibly refuse? Well, it's not just guesswork. There's actually a science to it, and it breaks down into a really simple formula. He calls it the value equation. And this is like the engine behind every single Grand Slam offer. It shows us exactly what levers we need to pull to make something wildly more desirable in the eyes of our customer.
So, when you look at it this way, the whole strategy becomes crystal clear. To make your offer irresistible, you have one job. Crank up the two things in the top half and crush the two things in the bottom half. That's it. Maximize the dream result in their belief they'll get it, while you minimize how long it takes and how much work it is for them.
So think about it. Your entire focus shifts to pumping up that dream outcome and their likelihood of achievement. At the exact same time, you're trying to shrink the time delay to as close to zero as possible and just slash the effort and sacrifice they have to put in. I mean, an offer that promises a huge result, guarantees it'll happen, delivers it instantly, and requires almost no work, that is literally the definition of a no-brainer.
Okay, so let's keep building here, because an amazing offer is totally useless if nobody ever sees it, right? Once you've engineered your Grand Slam offer, you need a reliable way to get it in front of that starving crowd you found.
And this is the very next challenge that every single business owner slams into. You've built the perfect solution, but you're talking to an empty room. So, how do we fill that room?
To solve this, Hormozi gives us his Core 4. These are the only 4 methods you really need to get customers. And these aren't just random tactics. This is a complete system for turning strangers into buyers no matter where you are in your business journey.
And what's so brilliant about this is the logical progression. You don't just jump in and try to do everything at once. No, you start with warm outreach. That's the low-hanging fruit. Then you start building trust and authority by putting out valuable free content. And only after you've got that foundation do you start to scale up with the tougher stuff, like cold outreach and paid ads.
Now let's bring these two huge pillars, the offer and the leads, together. Let's synthesize all of this into one simple, powerful growth model. This is the whole blueprint in its simplest form.
You know, when you boil it all down, the entire system really comes down to these two things working in perfect harmony. Number one, you engineer an offer that has ridiculously high value using that value equation. And number two, you build a machine, a consistent system to find people who need that offer. That's the engine of growth, right there.
So to wrap this all up, here's what I want you to take with you. Don't try to go out and change your entire business tomorrow. Just look at that value equation and ask yourself this simple but powerful question. What's just one little piece of effort or sacrifice that you could eliminate for your customers? Like tomorrow. Because every single piece of friction you remove gets you one step closer to making an offer they'd feel stupid saying no to.